Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on December 30th. Let's jump right into these charts and see what happened in the markets today. First up, we got our February live cattle on the board. Another quiet day in this live cattle market as we continue to trade inside this multi-week range. Price did see some bullish activity, however, though, as we did see this market briefly undercut these prior day lows, find some liquidity down there, and buyers stepping in and having a nice strong push into the close today. This market putting in some multi-day highs right here around 231. As we can see here, this market was bought up off that opening range, making a nice strong push up there towards 231, falling just short of it, but drawing a nice line in the sand here as we go throughout the rest of the week. Back-to-back multi-day highs here at 231 are going to be the level to watch. Bulls are going to try and take this momentum we had here today above 231. If we start to get some bids above 231, look for this market to start to chew up into this gap that still remains here in this live cattle market. Once this market is able to chew up through that gap, it should be pretty smooth sailing to the upside, and we should see this cattle market begin the new year with a nice little rally here. Look for the bulls to keep this momentum pushing, try and get up there, close that gap, and see this uptrend really take off here and start this 2026 calendar year off on the right foot. Feeders are already getting the ball rolling higher here. We did see this March feeder contract close this gap from the October 24th to 27th weekend. High of the day coming in at 345.05, which closed this gap to the tick. With this nice strong push above these prior day highs and getting some momentum above our bull pivots, closing that gap, should see some pretty smooth sailing here for the bulls in this feeder market. Look for them to keep on cruising higher. Bulls should have this thing rocking and rolling into 2026. Look for the bulls to keep on pushing and get this uptrend moving higher into the new year. Over to the corn futures now. March contract continuing to chop up back and forth across this range. We did expand the range from 435 to 455, added a little bit of wiggle room on the ends here to account for some of these swing highs and lows. At the moment, this market is just cutting right back across to the bottom end. Cut this range into quarters or thirds and look for buyers to get active down here between 435 and 440. Try and push this thing back up here to 450 to 455. Look for them to keep passing this thing back and forth. Until we can get a close beyond either one of these edges, this market should stay range bound. Crude oil prices hanging out inside their pivot points this week. We did see last Friday's big breakdown and we've rallied over the first 2 days of this week. However, we did see some rejection of those prior week highs. Didn't quite get all the way up to those highs, but we definitely got up close here into our moving averages. Look for the bears to keep the pressure on this market. This thing has seen plenty of resistance from this 50-day moving average as it's been climbing down overhead. We expect to see this bearish activity continue. Look for the bears to take some offers below today's low at 57.60 and get this market moving lower once again. Try and climb back down here towards that $55 mark and keep pushing this crude oil market lower. If we do get a strong push here above 58.88, which is our prior week's high, we want to see the bears continue to defend that 50-day moving average. But if we get a close above there, we could see a little bit of a short covering rally and see this thing pop up into the 60s a little bit. But at the moment, the bulls have really defended that 50-day line, and we expect to see that action continue. Look for the bears to stay in control in this market and keep oil prices moving lower. Last but not least, our equity markets continuing to slide here. S&P, NASDAQ, and the Dow all losing a little bit of ground here today. Nothing concerning, nothing major, all of them trading above their major moving averages. We are seeing the S&P and the NASDAQ getting close to that 20-day. Just coming off this recent all-time high here on the S&P. The NASDAQ continues to see resistance up here between 25.8 and 25.9. That's going to be the key level for this market to break. Look for the NASDAQ to get some bids above that, and we should see all of our indexes really take off once we get that going. In the meantime, though, we're kind of pulling back here still. Look for some support around these major moving averages across these indexes. Look for buyers to step in, try and find some value area plays, and offer some buyer support and keep this uptrend rocking and rolling into the 2026 year as well. That's all we got for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will catch you guys tomorrow night.